ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः. Om. We start off today's session of knowledge sacrifice with another Indra Sukta in Jagati Trishtup Chandasas from Sage Savya 1.54.1. Mano Asmin. O abundantly rich Indra, please do not impel us to commit sins in battles which will end up in destroying us. There are no limits to your strength. Please do not make us wander in the forest like water streams, and do not make us weep. How can the worlds desist for the fear of you? Indra, universal manifested self, is the ruler and creator of all worlds or the universe made up of gross or subtle matter. Archa Chakraya Shakine 1.54.2. O friends, praise that mighty listener Indra, who is the shower of waters or happiness. He is illuminator of all objects. He is most powerful. He makes the earth and the space with his irresistible might. Glorify him who is powerful and knowledgeable and mighty. Many attributes of Indra are presented in this book which should not be difficult to understand. This comment is applicable to the next trick 1.54.3. Archadive Brihate. O praiser, offer exhilarating worship to him whose mind is strong and firm while subduing unrighteous persons. He is renowned everywhere. His supreme spirit is united with rays of spiritual light or horses. In front, he is showerer of rainwaters, he is giver of pleasure or delight, he is subduer of enemies, he is great, and is illuminator of good virtues only. Enhance the might of the resplendent Indra, who is possessor of his own strength. 1.54.4 is the next trick. Tavam Divo Brihata. O Indra, the way you destroy that wicked cloud which covers the great open sky by dispatching the sharp-edged, light-emitting weapon, the thunderbolt, in the same way, with your own strength, you shake your enemies, who may be raging, slow-moving, or deceitful or wicked. Enemies are clouds, physically speaking, and evil thoughts clouding the mind in the spiritual sense. What next is 1.54.5. Ni yat Vrinakshi. O Indra, growing in strength with your own mind from ancient times even now, you made yourself the lord of the roaring air or wind, of the softening and dissipating sun, and also of water particles held upon the top of the clouds. Who is there above you? Indra, universal manifested self, is superior to all manifested objects. This idea is being conveyed by the Rik. Next is 1.54.6. Tvama Avitha Naryam. O performer of many deeds, Indra, you protect a benevolent noble person, an industrious person, a learned person who destroys the wicked and evil man. You protect the vehicle used for earning vast righteous wealth. You demolish 99 citadels of unrighteous men. Indra, protecting the body of a seeker of truth, destroys many of his internal enemy strongholds. This is the implied meaning of the last part of the Rig. 1.54.7 Sagha Raja. He, Indra, who gives desirable gifts, is a mighty lord, is ruler of the people, whose orders gladden the people. He spreads knowledge, gives wealth liberally, and welcomes eulogies. He rains happiness on the people as cloud rains down water from the sky. 1.54.8 Asamam Kshatram. O Indra, if your strength and intelligence are unparalleled, then all these righteous drinkers of Soma essence, by their actions, enhance your great strength, which is already great. Enjoyers of Vedic hymns, by their actions, enhance the glory of Indra, which is already great. Tubhedete. 1.54.9 The next trick. O Indra, the cloud dwellers, namely water particles, are carried by the clouds. As they are getting drunk by you, Indra, water streams flow down the mountain sides later, delighting you. Please make up your mind to give this wealth to the wealth givers and fulfill their legitimate desires. Apamadishthat. 1.54.10 O Indra, darkness exists in the receptacle in the belly of the moisture holding cloud. After dispelling this darkness, you make the waters flow down from the cloud to the earth. These flow as streams towards lower levels as per laws of nature for the benefit of all living creatures. Next is 1.54.11 Sa Shevarthamadhi. Shevridhamadhi. O subduer of people, Indra, you please give us bliss enhancing glory and wealth as well as great strength. Please preserve us in affluence. Protect the learned. May you give us wealth in the form of excellent progeny, good food and knowledge. Another Indra Sukta in Jagadi Chandas from sage Savya follows. 1.55.1 Divaschidasya. Indra's fame is spread to even the wide open physical space. So, either the space or the earth is no match to Indra in greatness. So also, the sun, who is great and brilliant and giver of heat and light to human beings, is no match to Indra. He is like a bull among a herd of cows, and he sharpens his vajra for strength. 1.55.2 So, Arnavo Nanadya, that warrior Indra, who acts like a bull for enjoying the spiritual Soma essence, stays in the sky accepting praises, like the ocean receiving the waters from the rivers. From ancient times, he desires to be praised warmly by well-known Vedic hymns. Tvam Tam Indra Parvatam 155.3. O Indra, you are great, very well known through your heroism among all shining beings. The cloud is not for your consumption. You are the Lord of the great possessors of righteous knowledge, and hence you are the benevolent priest of all activities in the universe. The cloud is not for the consumption of the rainmaker Indra. So also, ignorance is not for the enjoyment of Jivatma. He lords over the activities of righteous men. He activates the whole universe. Saidvane 1.54.4. Like a person desiring that all should get good education, stays in the forest and teaches his beautiful knowledge, that estimable Indra, who is the showerer of noble desires and happiness, and he only impels to utter words of knowledge and wisdom with prosperity. He is to be praised by all humble people. 1.55.5. Sa in Mahani, that warrior only, with his own power of knowledge, comes to the help of the people in their many battles of day-to-day life, and also he kills the cloud ignorance, throwing his powerful Vajra. To that resplendent Indra alone, one and all should be faithful. Sahi Saravasyu 1.55.6. That performer of good deeds Indra, desiring fame with his power, destroys artificial dwellings of the cloud and makes them ineffective. Thus he makes light of knowledge and water to flow freely from an invoker. Indra destroys ignorance with his spiritual light. 1.55.7. Dhanayamana. O drinker of Atmiya Soma essence, listener of prayers, Indra, let your mind be inclined towards giving wealth or knowledge, and make your horses or spiritual light rays turn towards us. May your charioteers be skillful in restraining horses. May restless appearances not harm us or you. Restless appearances are ever-moving clouds of ignorance. Really, all objects in the universe are restless appearances as far as birthless Brahman is concerned. They do not harm Indra, the universal manifested self. Other in this sukta, the last one, may not require any further explanation. Aprakritam Vasu 155.8. Renowned Indra, you hold extensive wealth or knowledge in your hands and have irresistible strength in your body. I bear in me, like a diligent person, your much intelligence covered with happiness, which is being carried in their bodies by industrious persons who are protected by you. Next suktam is also an Indra Suktam from Savya, Jagadi Chanda. Esha pra Purvirava 1.56.1. Before the manifestation of the great receptacles, the space and earth, he, Indra, for his enjoyment, like a pleasure-seeking horse, sets up in the sky the splendid golden-colored light-emitting chariot. He enjoys tremendous mental health. Golden-colored chariot should mean the sun. Tam Gurtayo 1.56.2. Like people desiring many agreeable rewards in terms of wealth and food, cross the ocean, highly intelligent praisers praise vigorously that Lord of intelligence and sacrifices, Indra, who sits with his splendor like a mountain lording over its surroundings. Universal manifested self, Indra, lords over this material universe. 1.56.3 Sa Turvanir Mahan. That overpowering Indra is strong, knowledgeable, and therefore great. His greatness dominates like a mountain peak in many conflicts with his enemies. His power removes all miseries, gladdening all. He puts in prison or conquers all dissipating and deceitful enemies. Indra is the overcomer of all ignorance. Next, 1.56.4 Devi Yadi Tavishi. With resolute strength, he dispels all miseries, like the sun succeeding dawn, dispelling darkness of the night. With enhanced resplendent strength, he drives away the enemies, producing terrifying noise. For our protection, that Indra is to be praised. 1.56.5 Viyattiro. O Indra, you established the solar world with its life-sustaining, dazzling, imperishable, spiritual light in all directions in the space, setting up the different objects in their appropriate places. You strike down the cloud in the atmosphere and bring down rainwater to earth with delight-giving powers. Based on comments on the previous record, these two rigs become self-explanatory. Last rig in this sukta, Tvam Divo Tharunam Desha. O Venerable Indra, by your spiritual power, you have set up the home for the waters in the atmosphere and on the earth. Delighted by drinking Atmiya Soma essence, you crush all enemies, covering the water particles with your enhanced power, causing the water flow down to earth. Another Indra Sukta from Sage Savya, 1.57.1. Pra Mamhishtaya Brihade. I offer special praises to Indra, who is truly valiant and strong, who is most liberal, is excellent, is the Lord of lofty wealth. By his irresistible power, all manifested living creatures flow like water flowing downwards towards lower levels as per nature's laws. Material objects and living creatures appear and disappear as per Rata said by Indra. Water flows towards lower level following the same nature's laws. Next one. Adhate Vishwamanu, 1.57.2. Sacrificial sessions of all sacrificers flow towards him, Indra, like water flowing towards lower levels. Likewise, O Indra, the whole universe flows as per your desire. Then the eager Indra let loose his golden, destructive, powerful Vajra on the cloud to kill it. These may not need any further elaboration physically or spiritually. Asmai Bhimaya, 1.57.3. O friends, let us collect our humble offerings with salutations in this auspicious, very wonderful, non-violent sacrifice to him who is the supplier of the supreme light and who created the pale red light, like that of Usha, for moving around, for receiving the sacrificial offerings. Indra, universal Jivatma, is the bringer of spiritual rays of light to all living creatures through drops of Soma, flowing essence of Atma. Imeta Indra, 1.57.4. O possessor of all wealth, invoked by many, fond of praise, Indra, we lead our life under your protection and guidance. Therefore, all of us are your own. None other than you hear our prayers. Be pleased to accept these hymns of ours, like the earth receives her subjects. All bodies of living creatures are possessed by Indra. He bestows existence and consciousness on them. Remaining part of the next two rigs are self-explanatory. Bhurita Indra, 1.57.5. O abundantly rich Indra, your valor is unsurpassed. We are yours. The space and earth humbly submit to your valor and to you before your might. Please fulfill the noble desires of your invoker who is praising you. Last ruk in this sukta, Tvam Tamindra Parvatam, 1.57.6. O wielder of Vajra, Indra, you shatter into pieces the big body of the cloud with your weapon, Vajra, and let down the waters that were held by it, preventing the water to flow down. You uphold the universe with your own victorious might. Thus sage Savya concludes his set of suktas, which are all Indra Stutis. In general, all suktas from sage Savya carry implied meaning. Next, we will take up perceptions of sage Nodha of Gautama Gotra. As per the general convention, sage Nodha starts off with an Agni Sukta in Jagati and Trishtup Chandasas. (1.58.1) Suktam 58 1.58.1 Nuchit Sahoja Amrto. Spiritual Agni, who is immortal like consciousness associated with Brahman, pierces darkness with his own power, gross light. Quickly he becomes acceptor of sacrificial offerings and messenger of the Brilliant One. This Agni moves along the most appropriate paths in the worlds created by the Creator. In sacrifices meant for shining beings, he shines with sacrificial oblations. Brilliant One implies Atma, the nameless self. Creator of the universe can be Atmiya Pavamana Soma or Indra or Tvashta. With these clarifications, meaning of the rest should be clear. Swamatma 1.58.2 Soul of Agni is free from decay and ever youthful. He sits in grass, wood and earth and the like by consuming fuel or food offered. The flames of Agni, whose back is well sprinkled with fuel, moving about hither and thither, shines in the summit of the sky like a fast-moving horse. He produces tremendous noise like thunder in the sky. This gives a description of fire which should be familiar to you all. 1.58.3 Krana Rudrebhi. Soul of Agni, doer of good to all, is placed in front as receiver and enjoyer of sacrificial oblations along with Rudras and Vasus. He is conqueror of wealth, is immortal and shining, is celebrated by hymns, is charming like a chariot, is very valuable. Agni stays in the bodies of human subjects uninterruptedly all through one's life. Rudras could be Marus or the 11 Rudras. Vasus are 8 in number. They are said to be presiding deities of the 8 directions. Viva Atajudo 1.58.4 Impelled by air, that immortal Agni, established in grass, wood, earth, etc., burns effortlessly with fuel or offerings made by Juhus, ladle, giving brilliant light and producing much sound. O Agni, you burn the woods in the forest quickly, making your path dark with smoke. Agni the fire is being talked about in these works. Tapurjambho Vana A 1.58.5 Shining grass Agni, possessing devouring flames, drinks up the moisture contained in every object with all his strength. Agni, going over to the forest, gains mastery over everything in there, just like a bull among the cows. So flying birds and moving and unmoving creatures on the earth are afraid of Agni. 1.58.6. Next rek, Dadhushtva Bhargavo. O soul of Agni, ancient fire worshippers among thoughtful men uphold you, who is easily invocable. For all is worshipworthy, is the acceptor of sacrificial oblations, is giver of delight, and is a welcome guest like an affectionate friend. He is like a treasure for gaining wonderful birth or for attaining enlightenment. 1.56.6 and 7. Here Agni may mean spiritual Agni, on whom intelligent seekers of truth meditate as messenger of Atma. Hotaram Sapta Juho. 1.58.7. I shall strive to attain the best wealth, and with that serve Agni, who is the possessor of seven-colored light, is the acceptor of sacrificial oblations, is worshipworthy, is the conveyor of objects and happiness. Him wise sacrificers invoke with worshipful hymns in non-violent sacrifices. Achidrasuno. 1.58.8. O son of a mighty father Agni, you are respecter of friends. Please protect us from our sins today and every day. May you grant your invokers uninterrupted well-being. O footless power Agni, protect your devotees by a protective armor as hard as steel. Unlike a horse, Agni has no foot, but still he is a giver of different forms of power, mechanical, electrical, etc. Last truth for today, Bhava Varutham Girinate. 1.58.9. O absolutely rich Agni Atma, please give to your worshipping devotees trouble-free, comfortable homes as well as happiness and well-being. Please protect the devotees from sins quickly. May Agni, who is possessor of good knowledge and intelligence, come here today and every day morning. We shall end today's session with this look. Viramastavat.